Hey everyone, so for today's question of the day, we're going to chat through whether I would suggest someone try working on ships for the first time in their, say, 40s or later, and why or why not. So we're talking someone that maybe had a whole career on land, maybe they had kids that are now grown up and out of the house, and they're like, hey, now I can go explore, like I feel like I have a little more freedom. So we're going to chat about that. My name is Iris. I spend about half the year living on a cruise ship with my engineer officer husband and our toddler. I'm actually at home right now, as you probably can tell due to the cloudboard siding and whatnot. But yeah, so would I recommend going back or going to work on a cruise ship at like the second stage of life? That's not really the right phrasing, but like after you've had a career, you're not in that kind of stereotypical cruise ship age that people see a lot of people going to work at sea, which is like in your basically starting in your 20s somewhere. And I would say every job on board, what job you have determines what kind of cabin you have and what perks you get on board. So think about where you are in your life and what would be an acceptable living situation for you. The person that asked this question specifically was talking about the spa. In the spa, there's very few functions that have their own cabin. Like the spa manager does, the acupuncturist does. If you're on a really big ship, there might be some other mid-managers that would have their own cabin. But for the most part, in the spa, you're going to be sharing a cabin. You'll also have a fairly long contract length. Most people in the spa are working, I'd say, at least a 6-month contract, but a lot of them are 9-month contracts. I know someone that kept getting extended and had a longer contract than that. And so I think when I was in my early 20s, my first few contracts, I had a roommate, and it was, I don't know, it was very much like, I'm out, I'm exploring, this is awesome. Like, having the bunk beds, none of that bugged me at all. The bunk beds, the roommate, my contracts were never super long. I think the longest one I did was maybe 5 months, but they were normally averaging around 4 for quite a while. And like that was all just kind of part of the excitement of it. And then as I got older, that part was less exciting to me. I started moving up a little bit and I didn't have a roommate, and then it was like, oh, this is good. I like having my own space. You know, you still have the camaraderie, like you've got your people in your hallway, you've got your crew members, your coworkers, all that jazz, but like I liked having my own space. And so anyways, I think if someone's thinking about going to work on the ship as a second phase of their career or after their kids have gone to school, just think about the perks that are coming with the job that you're applying for, and if you're good with them. You know, if you want to be able to eat in the passenger areas, or if you're happy eating in the crew mess. Those rules are kind of decided a little bit based on your rank, but also which cruise line you work for. So similar ranks on different cruise lines are going to have different rules, depending, it's a cruise line thing. So yeah, think about the perks that you want. If you want your own room, how long you're willing to accept being on a ship for. Also where the itineraries are. Maybe the itinerary is insane and you're like, you know what, sign me up. I'm going to go see all 7 continents in this 9 months. If this is the only time I do this in my life, that's fine. But I haven't gone anywhere in 20 years because I've been paying for summer camp and daycare and the 10 million other things that cost money when you have kids. And you're going to go for it. And that's great and that's wonderful. But just some things to think about if you're thinking about it as a second career, next phase of your career kind of option. But there's definitely people that do it. You know, I have friends that are, I bet I have a friend from pretty much every decade up through probably 70s. I don't think I know anybody that works on board that's in their 80s, because you do have to pass a medical to work on the ship. That one would be stretching it. That one would be a stretch. But otherwise, 20s to 70, I have either friends or know people that work on board in that different various age brackets. So Okay, anyways, have a lovely evening, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.